right? So what if we wanted to damage something or block? That's one of the other things we can do is a block, right? So in the Hero Knight, we have, pretty sure he has some prefabs here of, well, there's a slide dust. And we have the Hero Knight, different Hero Knights, a block flash. Right, we have a nice little thing like this. And if we look at the animator to it, there's no animations, it just plays. Perfect. So let's take this block flash, and if we, let's just see where it's at. It would be there, and we don't want it there. So let's get rid of the scripts to it. We don't want scripts to it. And we do want, however, oh, not the welcome screen, ecosystem. Let's get pooler. Let's bring that in, and let's make a little bit of a pooling system. Perfect. Then we can also add in the wall slide effect as well. The block. Oh, it is. It's literally part of the animation. Well then. That whole concept then is, I guess we just don't need to worry about it. Other than the sound effect. Which, I mean, we can do it another way, and we don't have to do it this way. Right? Like if we go into the player. So if we don't need to do that. But anyways, normally this works. I mean, it needs a little bit of tuning, but so we don't need to actually spawn. And I guess we don't need to get any of this. We do need to set the trigger. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And let's do an audio play. Easy way to do that is just to grab something like that and drag it in. Audio play, that one. All right. Good to know. Good to know. It the effect is part of. It would help if my player had an audio source to him, I suppose, right? That would always help. Audio source. And we don't need to play anything on awake. Don't really need to do anything. It just needs to sit there. So, all right. So now we have a player, some sounds, and we have essentially. I'm kind of curious about the wall slide now, though. Does the wall slide have an effect? Right, so if we go to the wall slide, let's put him up as well to 1. And let's check this guy out. And we could delete that, and let's take our canvas, our pool, and we'll make another pool, make it a wall slide, call it slide, and we'll probably need some more. And on the slide, let's destroy that, go into the prefab, add an FSM, do a weight, One second's probably fine on that. I don't think it was very long. And cooler destroy self. Alright, so that one's set up. Alright, now, okay, so if we're going to slide where do we want this particle to actually play? Right. So if we're sliding here, do we play the particle, you know, kind of like here? Or we kind of put it down a bit? I don't know, I think almost around here. So again, though, this is going to be one of those things where we want to, let's say, put in a player. Let's go with a 1.25, 0.3. Go to our player. All right, that can come down a bit. Let's go with a 1.1. What do you think? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good spot, but we'll go with that. Roughly a 0.3 and a 1.1. So let's say, let's go with this. Let's do get flip of the owner, the X. We'll call this flip, and we will bool to float again, and the bool is the flip and the float is the offset. If it's false, let's go was it 0.3 we said? 0.3, and vector get position of the owner. That's our position we're at. World, we get the flip, we convert that. This time let's use a vector 3 operator, so we don't have that same issue, because I think that might have been it. And let's take position and set vector 3, set a vector 3 value, x, y, the offset add, and the x can be the offset, the y can be 1.1, z can be 0, and now we can vector 3 add and set position. All right, so that is now pooler spawn. That needs to go to the very bottom. Slide at set position. So we'd want to get this if we are sliding, right? So the thing we're going to want with that is, if this is a template, we can do this. Dun, dun, dun. And we can, let's say over here, do a weight, maybe 0.5. Well, let's go 0.25. Oh, not 25. And go to a finish over here. I'm just going to use a next frame. That can finish. I'm going to save this as a template as slide effect. There we go. We have a template there. Let's delete it from here. Let's go over to our move, where when we're in our slides, this guy, we can now run FSM to slide. Slide effect. Right, and I can copy that and add it down here. All right. If we want, we can add some sound to that too. worried about it at this exact moment. So here we have, whoop. Okay, we should have particles. We don't. Did I name it right? Probably not. Right, pool is called, I called it slider. Well, that was silly of me now, wasn't it? Slide. I don't need to hear this square. Let's get rid of that. Still not seeing anything. So let's double check. Okay, check the spelling because it's probably capitalized. So that's slide. If we go over to our thing here, are we not? Oh, I put it in the frickin' jump. Lord Thunder. Let's move those into the actual slide effects, not the jump effects, eh? That would help. Putting it in the right spot. And we have it backwards. But, you know, it's working, kinda. So let's adjust that just a bit. Go into our slides, our run FSM, and we just need to flip this. So this is I think it was 0.25 actually, and then negative 0.25. Those sprites will also need to be flipped too, though. So we'll have to check that. All right, because it's going to go in the right spot as long as I don't jump there. I got to change that jumping off of things like that. All right, so those sprite flips need to be flipped, right? And that's very, very, very simple. We just simply go into the effect, and we already have this flip from the player, so we're just going to store the slide effect itself and flip. Set sprite flip of the slide effect to match our flip. Whatever our flip is, their flip is. And if we have to inverse that, well, then we'll inverse that. But that should be right. I think the position can go over a bit and down a bit, I think. But overall, it's working and it looks nice. I think. So let's adjust that just slightly. Let's go back to the 0.3 because I think 0.3 is a little nicer. And let's take this down to 0.95. All right, and now I'm going to take this guy and I want to see it on both sides. So we're going to see it on both sides. So there's a slide there. There's a slide there. Pretty cool. The actual slide effect, though, needs to actually fade a little quicker. But overall, I mean, it is definitely pretty good. I mean, that's kind of nitpicking at this point in time, right? But at the same time, it's super easy. I'm just going to bring this down to like 0.65. There we go. There we go. It should be just about freaking perfect. Some cool effects. Got a nice looking health bar. It's in the wrong spot. Yeah, see, that's better. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely better. So this guy here, we have constant size. And of course now we had it child as the player. That's why things got all messed up. Right, so I am going to put this anchor point in the top left. That's roughly where I want it. -20. And like that. So now it can stay there. It doesn't need to be coming halfway down. Right, it stays up there. It's anchored there. So anyways, I think that's pretty good.